Hey, want to see my Mighty Pirate scrapbook? It's filled with my adventures. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a mighty pirate. That's me, Guybrush Threepwood. Hey, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a mighty pirate. That's me, Guybrush Threepwood. In the old days, you became a pirate by completing 3 trials to prove your worth. Treasure hunting is important for any pirate. The pirate leaders were in charge of the 3 trials, acting as judge, jury, executioner, and devoted grog tasters. The test of thievery involved breaking into the governor's mansion. The security was heavy. Mastering sword fighting was more a matter of wits than agility. This is when I met Elaine, the love of my life. She was governor at the time. Things took an unexpected turn while I was working on the 3 trials.
I love Dominic Amato's voice, if that's his name. Welcome.
Elaine was kidnapped and taken to Monkey Island by the nefarious ghost pirate LeChuck. Elaine was kidnapped and taken to Monkey Island by the nefarious ghost pirate LeChuck. I scraped together a crew. Carla, Otis, and Meathook joined me on my voyage to Monkey Island to save Elaine. LeChuck thought he was in love with Elaine. My first ship was the Sea Monkey. I bought it at Stan's used ships with a letter of credit that I, sort of falsified. Monkey Island was a steaming volcanic mystery, covered with jungle and not found on any map. You had to brew a special potion just to find Monkey Island. I made some substitutions, but it got us there just the same. On the island was a gigantic monkey head statue with hidden catacombs underneath. The monkey head opened with a special key that you stuck in its ear. There were some people living there who claimed to be cannibals, but I think it was just a show for the tourists. LeChuck's ghostly ship was anchored in a lake of lava hidden beneath the island's surface. I met an old castaway there, Herman Toothrot. He and the locals wrote a lot of indignant letters to each other. We wound up back on Melee Island for the stunning conclusion to my first big adventure. I made it to the church just in time to stop the wedding. Or so I thought. It turned out Elaine already had everything under control. How does she do that? By then, I had learned that ghosts like LeChuck are vulnerable to root beer. Just trust me, it works, okay? I defeated LeChuck, and he basically exploded. It was the beginning of something magical. These are from the time I went to find the treasure of Big Whoop. I met my good friend Wally, who makes maps, and I stole his monocle. Good times. The map to the treasure had been torn into 4 pieces, which, let's face it, is about as piratey as it gets. Elaine always seems to know when I need her. The mysterious voodoo lady at the International House of Mojo taught me to make a voodoo doll, which came in handy more than once. Again, it came down to just me and LeChuck at the end. He was using magic, but then, so was I. One time, Elaine got turned into a statue. Well, LeChuck was behind it, of course. That guy never gives up. I met my good friend Wally, who makes maps, and I stole his monocle. The map to the treasure had been torn into 4 pieces, which, let's face it, is about as piratey as it gets. Again, it came down to just me and LeChuck at the end. He was using magic, but then, so was I. One time, Elaine got turned into a statue. Well, LeChuck was behind it, of course. That guy never gives up. I got eaten by a snake. I erupted a volcano on purpose. There's not a lot I wouldn't do for Elaine. I got buried alive. It was around this time that I met Murray, the allegedly all-powerful demonic skull, after a rousing sea battle. Things backfired on LeChuck because Elaine and I got married when it was all over. Game, set, matchmaker. This was a great day. Though in retrospect, we shouldn't have had the scum bar handle the catering. That's either Elaine's wedding veil or my handkerchief. We got them to match. Elaine and me together forever. The daggers are symbolic of cutting through troubles, I think. I wrote a great haiku for the wedding invitation. I don't know why you have to have candy-coated almonds at a wedding, but apparently you do. Oh man, this was that crazy time LeChuck teamed up with an Australian billionaire and tried to use a mystical talisman to make Elaine his bride. The ultimate insult wasn't really ultimate or even an insult at all. Or was it? Everything started because they thought Elaine was dead, so they held an election to replace her. LeChuck and I battled it out on a grand scale that time. I made a goofy monster out of prosthetic body parts. It didn't help with anything, but I had fun doing it.
So this was Monkey Island 4, if I remember correctly. The first one that was really a letdown. And technically, 3 was the first one I played, Curse of it. Then I replayed the old ones, and then I played 4 on the PlayStation 2. And the 3D just did not work. I mean, it was Monkey Island, sure, but it felt really, really lacking.
Then there was the time I accidentally let loose LeChuck's pox over the entire Caribbean. Or so it seemed.
That must be from that Monkey Island game I didn't play, right? The one that came out in 5 parts. Tails? Is that Tails from?
I had to wear a hook for a while. It came in handy. Elaine wasn't fooled by LeChuck's human form any more than I was. I should have trusted her more. I went on trial for my life on 4 separate charges. I defended myself, of course. Morgan Le Fay betrayed me, even after we bonded inside a giant manatee. I should have trusted her less. The death card doesn't usually represent literal physical death, except when it does. Oh, here's that voodoo doll from the end of my Big Whoop adventure.
Big Whoop, wanna fight about it?
I defeated LeChuck with this. His leg came off as easy as tearing a loaf of bread. I defeated LeChuck with this.
Gotta get more paper. All right.
Here's that voodoo doll.
All right, cool. That was pretty cool. As far as, what came before goes, that was a good one. Thanks for that. New game. More puzzles, harder puzzles, the full monkey. Go for the pro adventure gamer who wants to. Come on now. All the story and all the fun, but with casual puzzles for the busy on-the-go player. I mean, I do like a good puzzle. Let's puzzle it up. Hopefully it's not too wackadoo.
Take this, LeChuck!
Guybrush, come over here, gently now. Remove my mask.
Will you promise to stop picking on me?
All right, I promise. Anything. Just put my leg back on.
Hey, you kids. You're not supposed to be in here.
What's next?
Let's goof on those two. Pretend they're our parents.
Yeah! Sorry we ran off. You were probably worried about murderers and ne'er-do-wells.
Don't worry, I found him.
Come on, let's go.
Let's pretend I have powers that make lightning come out of my eyes.
It's so lifelike.
I wonder if it's real. Sorry, boys, could you stop following us? It's creepy.
Yes, sir.
Come on, I saw a scurvy dog shack back there.
Scurvy dogs. I've never had one of those.
No way, you have to try one. It's the best thing you'll ever eat in your life. No fooling.
Wow.
Wow, no fooling? Alright, how does this all work?
I once got a scurvy dog that was bigger than my head.
Wakey, wakey, Mr. Pirate. Hello? Boo!
Ha! He's dead to the world.
Sounds real. Hey, Chucky, get ready to run. I guess they don't like visitors.
Let's go next door and get scurvy dogs.
What should we do next?
We gotta get to scurvy dogs. I can't believe you never had one. Some places you go have scurvy dogs with cheese inside.
Let's not go back there again. We'll just get yelled at.
Yeah, let's get scurvy dogs instead.
Smells like grog. Hey, Chucky, stand over here for a minute.
Nah, I want to get scurvy dogs.
Exhibit removed. Aww.
I once had the hiccups for 4 days straight.
It's locked. Maybe one of the shops has a key. The words don't look like words, but there's a picture of a scurvy dog. They put it on a leg to keep you from walking off with it. I'll bring this right back, sir.
You'd be wise to do that. I got the leg from the last kid who didn't bring back the key.
That's where the outhouse key was.
You kids better have money.
Yeah. We've got all kinds of money. Can we get a couple of scurvy dogs?
Sure. If you give me a piece of 8, that's money that grown-ups use.
I know what a piece of 8 is.
Good for you. You can have a couple of dogs if you give me one.
Please? Can't you spare something for a couple of hungry kids?
Listen up, you little moocher. Let me tell you something. I don't like kids. I'm an honest businessman trying to make an honest living. I don't need 50 kids a day coming in and wasting my time trying to get me to give them free food.
I guess never mind.
Hey, I know. Let's look for change in the outhouse across the way. Coins fall out of people's pockets when they sit down in there.
What should we do next?
Let's look for change in the outhouse.
What should we do next?
Let's look for change in the outhouse. Maybe.
Looks like they need a swabby in here. I'll never be the ship's swabby. That is really, really low. It's locked. Good thing I've got the key in my pocket.
Did you know you can keep a scurvy dog warm by sticking it in your... Good! You unlocked it!
Phew. He didn't finish that sentence.
Gross. 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 I don't see any coins, and I'm not putting my hands in that.
I'm not putting my lips on that.
Please wash hands before leaving outhouse.
And Brent,
I'm not touching that gunk. It seems more like something Chucky would do. Where should we look?
all over. Do you see any coins?
It isn't a piece of 8, but it's a round piece of metal about the same size and shape as a piece of 8.
That's called a slug. It's like a fake coin.
A fake coin is almost as good as a real coin.
I can stand on my head without using my hands.
So the first thing you need to find in the game, and X marks the spot. That's hilarious.
the toilet.
No way. You do it.
Okay. Gross.
I once ate 2 scurvy dogs at the same time.
It looks like a piece of 8. If you don't see very well, it unlocks the outhouse. The words don't look like words, but there's a picture of a scurvy dog. That's where the outhouse key was.
I haven't.
Hey, look! I'm returning the key.
You want a medal?
I got a trophy. I got a medal. Fulfilled your restroom obligations. Make sense?
Looks like they need a swabby in here. What can we get with this?
Tastes like a piece of 8. Enough for a couple of scurvy dogs if you want.
Perfect!
Take 'em, boy.
What are you getting?
What?
Just kidding. Here's yours.
That is some old Ren and Stimpy close-up shit.
Yum! What do you want to do now?
I don't know. What do you want to do? That's my friend Dee. Hey, Dee.
Hey, Chucky, what are you jerk faces up to?
We just got here.
I'm making a list of stuff to do.
Give me that. I'm an expert planner. There. Perfect. See you around the park, shitheads.
That's a cool anchor.
That just shows how little you know about anchors. This one's not a very good example. You'd know that if you read as much about anchors as I have. Did you know that anchors originally weren't designed to hold ships in place? They were used in combat, shot from cannons as a grapple when you were trying to board another ship. They started making them bigger and bigger because they would do more damage that way. Then, people noticed what happened when you missed the other ship and hit the sea bottom instead. The current bow-shaped design is actually less effective than the sharper V-shaped design that was popular last century. But the older design went out of fashion after sailors started to think the letter V was bad luck. You can still find the old kind around sometimes, but collectors have grabbed most of them. On a modern anchor, if you look close, you can tell that one side is a little larger than the other. That's to prevent what's called plummeting, where the anchor goes down too evenly and then it doesn't catch well on the bottom. The little flanges at the tips are at different angles to make it twist on the way down for the same reason. Most anchors these days are made of iron, and you have to recast them like twice a year because they rust. About 30 years ago, somebody thought of a way to get around that by making them out of wood instead. All kinds of people invested a lot of money in these wooden anchor companies, but the only way they could keep them from floating was to attach another anchor. And so they gave up and went back to the old way. The word anchor comes from the Sanskrit word nagara, meaning city. They're called that because when you stop in the middle of the ocean, it's like you've made port at an invisible city. Yeah, I'm kind of an expert on anchors. I read a lot.
Handy as fuck.
That's a cool anchor.
Did you know that they were used? They started then. The current, but you can on a modern. That's to prevent the little most ink about their all. But the word they're called. Yeah, I'm kind of an.
Hey, Chucky, want a race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go! Chucky wins!
Woohoo! Yeah!
Nuts! You up for another race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3.
Hey, cheater!
You have to wait until I say go.
You up for another race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go!
I win!
And the screen moves just enough to the right to see the parents and the
They
ducks.
won't smell if you don't wash them.
Hey, hands off.
Excuse me,
Yes?
will you pretend to be our parents again?
What do you mean, again?
Run along and find your real parents.
What do you mean, again?
That's our bread.
Excuse me,
Yes?
could we have some of your bread to feed the duck?
I don't think so. We brought it for ourselves.
Cool, cool.
I wonder what's in that basket.
Let's find out.
What do you think you're doing? Kids these days have no regard for personal property.
And no respect for your elders.
I have half a mind to give you a piece of my mind.
And I've got the other half.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Blah 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Gotta run.
How rude.
Blah 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 rude.
What's this red glob on the ground?
That's ketchup. It's supposed to be really good with scurvy dogs.
Yum. You
should put
pick
that
up
on
the
your scurvy
ketchup
dog.
with your hand from the sand, and then you obviously grab the ketchup and you put it on the scurvy dog. Now you take a little bite. Yum. Bro, that is ooh. Guybrush, you idiot.
Yuck! I don't think that was ketchup.
Whoops.
What was it? Son. Is there a first aid place? Get you some Ipecac.
I found a 4-leaf clover.
There's still one left.
I wonder where this path goes.
I already found a 4-leaf clover. Do not pick the 4-leaf clovers. As if. I want to feed the duck.
At home, I've got a collection of old scurvy dog sticks that fills a whole shoebox.
A lucky duck trophy. Shared your luck. Fair enough. Was that not the point? Is that not feeding the duck? That is feeding the duck. one lucky duck.
Don't feed the duck.
Well, as if.
I can stand on my head without using my hands. I wonder where this path goes.
I should throw my coin in and make a wish. I wish we could speak backwards. Or what is...
Yes, you know.
Yes, well, helps it. Yes, you go.
That was fun.
Aw, man, it wore off.
Too bad. You made more sense than usual.
Let's be frank. You can never hope to beat me.
No way! You'll never catch up to my level.
I win.
I win!
Nuh-uh.
You guys are both pretty weak.
Well, anyway, that was fun.
There he is.
Hello, Mr. Threepwood.
Hey, kids.
Hilarious.
Fun?
Yeah!
We got scurvy dogs.
Those have toenails and stuff in them. Ugh, I read about it.
And we were playing your adventures. We just did Big Whoop.
Big whoop. Oh, boy. That takes me back.
I like it when Chucky asked me to put his leg back on. He says it really funny.
You guys always make up the craziest stuff for the ending of that story.
It's fun.
But you can't just change it around. That's not how storytelling works.
A lot of your stories don't feel like they're finished at the end.
What do you mean?
Well, like, there's this one that you call The Secret of Monkey Island, where you went to Monkey Island and fought LeChuck.
Oh, that story has a great ending. There's punching and fireworks. I thought you liked that one.
But you never did find the secret. Not the real one.
Sure, but that's not what that story was about. Kids, let me tell you a story that is about finding the secret of Monkey Island.
Is this a long story?
I think maybe I gotta go use the bathroom or something.
Yeah, I have to go walk my tarantula.
Maybe I should go with them.
No, stick around. This is a good one. See, there was a rumor going around that my old nemesis, LeChuck, had somehow discovered the exact location of the secret of Monkey Island. I knew I had to get it before he did, so I went to Melee to get my own expedition started and beat him to the punch. Feels good to be back on Melee Island, the hub of pirating in the Caribbean, where every good expedition begins. I'll see some old pals and get things rolling. Or sailing in this case. Hi, I'm Guybrush Threepwood. Remember me?
Haven't seen you in a while, Threepwood. What have you been up to?
Well, you know, freebooting mostly, swashing buckles and so on. But now I'm getting an expedition together to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, you're sailing with LeChuck.
What? LeChuck's here in Melee? Is there widespread panic?